Welcome in, my beautiful builders. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to build this cute and tiny castle. Without further ado, let's get into it. So to start off with, this is going to be our build layout. Go ahead and copy this down into your world, and then we'll get started. So to start, we're going to work on our towers, starting with this front right tower here, and the smallest tower of all of them. We're going to go ahead and we are going to build this up by 5 blocks. Now don't worry about doing any texturing or anything like that for right now, just go ahead and get the shape of the building in place. 5 blocks all the way around just like this to make yourself a nice little cylinder. Now, for the front left tower, we're going to go up by 7 blocks. Once again, don't worry about doing any texturing or anything, just worry about getting the shape of the building in place for right now. Again, a tower just in a complete circle like this. Now that we have these 2 cylinders in place, we're going to move to the back tower, and this one is going to be the exact same thing, except this time we're going to go up by 11 blocks. Now that we have our first 3 towers in place, it's time to work on our last tower, the back right tower. And for this one, we're going to place 3 blocks here, skip the corner, and then place 3 blocks here. We can go ahead and remove this block out of the corner. It was just for the layout. We're actually not going to place anything there. Then we can do 1, 2, 3 blocks here, 1, 2, 3 blocks here. So we should once again have this circular shape. Now we're going to bring this up by 14 blocks in total. Now, eventually we are going to remove these blocks here because they're going to be the interior of our build. But for right now, so we have a nice little guide, leave them in place and bring this up by 14 blocks. So now let's go ahead and get some roofs on these towers. Starting with our smallest tower here, this is the pattern that we're going to follow. It's going to be 2 blocks up all the way around, following our tower outline. Then we're going to do 1 block up in the center on each and every side, and then we're going to do 3 blocks up in the middle. And that is going to be our general roof shape. Now right now it's going to look a little funny because it doesn't have any trim, but don't worry, we'll come back and do that. Next, we're going to come over to our second highest tower, and we're going to go up by 3 all the way around. Then we're going to go up 2 in the middle on each side. And then once again, we're going to go 3 in the middle at the top of the tower, so we should have something that looks like this. Now for our tower in the back left, what we're going to do is we're going to come 2 blocks high all the way around in the exact same shape. Then we're going to come 1 block up in the middle. We're then going to come off of that 1 block all the way around, and we're going to make a square just like this. Then we're going to take that square up by an additional 2 blocks. So we should have something that looks like this. Now on the center block, we're going to once again come up by 2 blocks. And then at the very top, we're going to come up by a total of 3 blocks. So now our roof is going to look like this. And for our last tower, we're not going to overcomplicate it. It's just going to be a completely flat roof line, and we're just going to take some stairs, and we're going to, every other block, go around our tower, and then we'll put some cobbled deep slate walls in between in order to give it a nice finish up top. If you made it to this point in the video, you're doing great. You know what else would be great? If you hit that subscribe button. The rest of this build is going to get a little bit more tricky, so you may have to rewatch the next couple of parts. So now it's time for us to connect all of these towers up, and things are going to get a little bit tricky here because the middle is kind of an odd shape, but I'm going to go slowly so hopefully you guys can follow along. What we're going to do is going to first come to our smallest tower here and go one below our cyan concrete. Go ahead and build out by one, and then you're going to connect up to this back tower. Then you can go ahead and drag this all the way down to the floor and fill all of this area in. Then on the other side of the wall that you just placed, you're going to go ahead and come in by 2 blocks just like this. Then you're going to come at a diagonal and you're going to build up by 3. And then you're going to come once again at a diagonal over here and you're going to build up by 5. Now circling around back to the front, we're once again going to come in one below your cyan roof and you're going to connect directly across to your second largest tower. Then you can go ahead and you can fill all the way down to the ground again. Eventually we're going to add a doorway in here, but for right now, just fill it all in. Now you should have this block here from whenever you placed your 3 up whenever you extended out this wall. So what you're going to do is you're going to place 1, 2, 3, and then 4 blocks just like that. Come over by one, over by another, and then come down and you're just going to make a circle window just like this. And then you're going to once again come up by 3 blocks here. And this is our front face of our castle. Now we're going to loop around to the left side of the castle and we're once again going to come 1 block underneath our cyan roof. And we're just going to extend all the way out until we connect to our back tower just like this. Then we're going to come 2 out and then we're going to find this block here and come 3 up just like this. Now we can go ahead and fill in all of this just like so, and then all the way down to the ground. Now on this side we do have one last block to place, and that is right here because we're going to be filling in a gap. And that should be it for this side. Now circling around to the back of the castle, we're going to come to this corner right here and we're going to build up by 5 blocks. Then we're going to come at a diagonal, kind of catacorner, and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more blocks. Now all we're going to do is we're going to connect straight across on each of these, and in this top section you can go ahead and fill all of this in solid. And then at this bottom section is where we're actually going to bring 1 more block down, and then we're going to put a upside down stair and another upside down stair to give us another way into our castle. So if you made it through all of those steps, you should now have a wonky looking roof line like this in the middle, and we're now going to clean this up. So what we're going to do is come over to this left side and build up by 2 like this, and then just build directly across. Now, if you have this block here in the corner, go ahead and remove it because it's going to get in our way. Now what we're going to do is take some spruce stairs and we're just going to follow along this edge all the way around the entire roof line like this. Then we're going to come up by 1 and once again just follow all the way around just like this, connecting up our roof to a nice pretty shape. Now we can take 2 spruce slabs to flatten out the top, and then if you want to, you can go ahead and put in your chimney. That's just going to be shaped a little bit like that. Now, personal preference, I actually like these stairs to be turned into my chimney so we can see this block a little bit more, but that is personal preference. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. We'll come back and touch this chimney up a little bit later, but let's go ahead and work on this lower roof. So what we're going to do is we're going to come right off of this column right here, and we're going to come out by 3 spruce stairs. Then we're going to come out by 3 more spruce stairs above that. Do the exact same thing on the other side. And then in the middle, we're going to do a top half slab, and then the rest you can fill in with planks or full half slab blocks. Also, another variation of this top roof, if you don't quite like it this flat, you can go ahead and just move these up by another half slab. Gives a little bit more depth to the top up there, but once again, that's personal preference. And now the last thing that we need to do for the main structure is get in the awning out front. So go ahead and place you 2 stone bricks just like this, and then we will bring it up by cobbled deep slate walls by 2, and then you're just going to come with some spruce slabs straight out from the building right across those walls, and then you're going to come up by a half slab and come straight out like so. Now this is the absolute bare bones basics of this castle. You can now dress it up however you want, but I'm going to show you how I dress it up. Alrighty, so let's start by working on the front of the castle. And the first thing that we're going to do is work on our smallest tower. And we're going to be using cobbled deep slate materials in order to trim up the roof. So just a couple of upside down stairs as well as some slabs is going to shape the trim of this roof and make it blend in a whole lot better. Now we can go ahead and add in a window 1 block below our trim, and then we will put in a spruce trapdoor here and a spruce trapdoor on top of that one. Go ahead and close them up for a nice little window. The last thing that I want to do is trim out the roof just a little bit with some walls, and we'll go ahead and add those to the points here just to kind of add a color break here in the roof. We're going to do the exact same thing over on this roof line, upside down stairs on all of the corners with a cobbled deep slate slab in the middle to break it up, just like so, all the way around. However, instead of putting the cobbled deep slate walls on this point here, I'm instead going to put them down on this level, just because I feel like it works better for a color break on that level than it does on the level up there. Now, once again, 1 block down from our trim, we're going to go ahead and knock out a window and place down a spruce trapdoor there and a spruce trapdoor there, close them up, and there we go, we have our second tower detailed out. Now to finish off the front of this tower, we're obviously going to need a doorway, which I am actually going to off-center a little bit because I want this awning to be a little bit off-center with this roof line here, just because I think it adds a little bit more interest. So that is going to be our doorway. It's going to be 1 wide, and we're just going to place a spruce door just like that so that it looks a little bit nice. Then I actually want a stairwell in order to get into this tower. So what I'm going to do is place a stair like this, a slab like this, and then I'm going to break into the tower here. I'm going to add a stair just like so we can get in nice and easy, and then we can add another door right into here for some type of upper level. Back out front, I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 walls just like this with a soul lantern right on top for a little bit of added detail to the front. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in some black stained glass to this upper window, and that is going to be it for the front for now. Go ahead and move around to the side to our large tower, and what we're going to do is add in some cobbled deep slate once again, just like this, with a cobbled deep slate slab in the middle. In the corner, we're going to once again stay at this level, but we're going to put a slab right there in the corner, and then deep slate stairs like this, slab up, and then deep slate stairs, slab up, deep slate stairs, slab up, and then slab right there in that corner as well, and that is this roof trimmed out. Now we need a couple of windows, which we're going to come down 2 blocks from our trim and put in right here with 2 spruce trapdoors right on top of each other, and go ahead and close them up. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the very back. Once again, 2 spruce trapdoors just like this. You can also do iron bars or something like that, but I quite happen to like the look of spruce trapdoors for windows. Last but not least, we're going to take some cobbled deep slate walls and we are going to put them all over this roof, basically on every single point. We're going to skip these right here, but then we're going to go up top and we're going to put them absolutely everywhere. This is going to detail out the top of this roof by a lot. Last thing that you can do is go ahead and add in a little flag if you want to. Not a big one. Definitely don't do a big one to this because otherwise it's going to look a little bit weird if you do a large flag for such a small castle. But something a little bit like that looks very nice. On the very back side of the castle, I tend to keep this a little bit plain, but you can do this however you want. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in another window right here into this tower because I feel like it looks a little bit bland all on its own. Alternatively, you can add garden beds here, you can add anvils, you can add anything that you want onto that ledge. All things are valid. Another thing that I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and I'm going to add my trap doors up here to my smokestack, and then we can go ahead and break this block out of the middle and we can grab ourselves a campfire in order to give ourselves a little bit of smoke. And on the last side of the castle, I like to keep things a little bit simple, and we're going to add in a doorway into this tower. We're going to add ourselves a spruce slab like this and a spruce slab like this. Now, notice we do have a little bit of extra room here. It's just so that this looks like it's a little bit more of a connected roof line to the eye. Even though it's not connected, it just feels a little bit better. So then we're going to add in a cobbled deep slate stair right here. And then we're going to fill in this floor inside of the building so that we have ourselves a bedroom that we can come up and sleep in. In fact, now that I'm standing back here and looking at my castle a little bit, I think I'm actually going to change this chimney right here, and I'm actually going to make it 1 block taller. So we're going to move our campfire up just a little bit, add in some spruce trapdoors around, just like so, and there we go. I think that's going to look a lot better. Oh yeah, definitely like that better. So that's another thing that I do want to say is just because you're following a tutorial here, don't be afraid to change things. Like if you, for instance, don't like this roof height, then, you know, knock it down a block. You know, you have complete control over this build. I mean, yes, you're following a tutorial right now, but Minecraft is a creative game. You know, change things how you want to change them. So if you don't like that roof height how it was, there you go. It's now changed. Ta-da! It's 1 block shorter. So, just in case you guys want to copy that, that's 2 blocks up, and then 2 blocks in the middle, and then 3 blocks up top. So, there you go. If you like that better, you can change it. I mean, this castle is pretty modular. Change it how you want to. For instance, standing back here and looking at it, I feel like this tower could definitely use another window, so I'm going to come 1 block below this, and then I'm going to just bust out 2 blocks just like that. Once again, do our little trapdoor trick, and there we go. We have ourselves a nice little tower. Don't be afraid to experiment. So the last thing that I'm going to do to the build is called texturing, and this is where we break up all of that stone into different blocks. So rather than just having stone, we're going to mix in cobblestone, mossy cobblestone, as well as andesite into the build. And there is a method to the madness. However, if you want to learn how to texture, I recommend you check out my Ultimate Builder's Guide. I'll link it in the description down below, as well as in a card on screen now. It's an Ultimate Builder's Guide to how to build in Minecraft. But as far as general methods, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep cobblestone down to the bottom where we have the most amount of weight on it, because obviously there's a lot of weight going down on these lower blocks. And then up at the top, I want things to look weathered by the rain. So that is where I'm going to add in my andesite. I'm also going to throw in some mossy cobblestone here and there along the bottom just to give a little pop of color, but nothing too much. I'm probably not going to use this hardly at all, to be honest. And that is the castle all textured up. But I wouldn't say this build is done without some landscaping. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A nice, quaint little castle with a nice, quaint little walkway. I absolutely love how this build came out, and I'm going to leave the interior up to you guys. You guys can detail it out however you want, pack it up with storage, or leave it as a decorative piece in your world. But I absolutely love this build, and I hope that you guys did too. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be where I wrap up for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of our tiny castle, and I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have a great day.